Hello, guys. Good evening. If you can hear me, please can you just give me a thumbs up so that we can start? All right. All right. Joy. Joy, how you doing? Number one person. Okay. So, hello, Joy. Good evening. All right. So I'll start in the next 4 minutes. That's 17:08. Hello, Joy. How you doing? Okay. You guys can hear me, right? Let me just know you can hear me. Okay, no problem. So now let's start. So this is Jira Automation that we're going to talk about right now. And it's not actually Jira beginners class. So Jira beginners class, I had posted it earlier, I think on Tuesday. If you anybody wants to learn Jira beginners class, that the person should just click on it, pay for it, and then we can start. So we'll just go straight to automation. But before we actually start that, right? We've been hearing of Jira automation, Jira automation. I did a small note explaining what we are actually doing. We can see your screen. Okay, no problem. That's nice. Okay, so I did hold on, just give me a second. Let me download this file so that I need to download it and send it to WhatsApp, and then I can use it for the class. All right, I'm back. So some persons will be asking, what is Jira automation? It's just look at it like an assistant that helps you do all those little tasks at home. So now Jira, if you're actually managing a large company like that has large resources and then you're working remotely, this is where um, Jira automation actually comes in for you. It's really needed because you can't be going around with meeting all your developers, meeting all your designers, or meeting your team members, depending if you're actually working on in a software company or you're working in a marketing company, whatever company you find yourself, right? You can't just be going around telling the your resource person or your colleague, hi, what's up? Give us updates on your task. How far have you gone with it, right? when you have other things to do. Imagine if you are managing up to like 4 projects, and then one is actually in development stage, the second one is actually in deployment stage to production, and then the third one is a new product. And definitely, if it's a new product, that means you need to be meeting with the client often, right? I hope you guys are following me. So that's why Jira automation is there. So, do you really need it? Yes, you need Jira automation, because one of the things it does is that it reduces manual work for you. Instead of you moving, asking your developer, "Are you done with a particular task?" and he or she says yes. So you now have to like go and carry, move from one stage to the other, from in progress to review, or from in review to progress. It's simple. You can automate it in such a way that once your developer is done working on that particular project, and he has merged his code, right, to which of the um is it res, yeah, let's just call it res, that you guys have. It could be Bitbucket, it could be GitHub, right? So it triggers Jira, and then once it's deployed, Jira gets the notification, and the next thing it gets, your stakeholders or you on your own part could be notified that this person has deployed this particular thing. It ensures consistency. That's the same thing I'm saying. It improves team efficiency. So your team focuses on actual work and not clicking buttons and updating issues manually. To be truthful, yeah, most of your team members are always complaining. I mean, I can count the numbers of time I will be going around telling my developers, "Are you done? Hello, good evening, Steph Nora. Are you done with your the task that we're working on?" And then the person will say, "Yes, I'm done." "Okay, why didn't you move it on Jira?" It's another problem. Most organizations that have working standard would use Jira to be checking what is happening. So when I'm always teaching agile project management, I let people understand how tasks are being broken down in such a way that your clients understand what you are putting out there, your stakeholders understand what you are putting out there. So they don't need to be calling you back to back to tell you, "Oh, come and explain this thing for me." So that's why Jira automation is there. Another thing that I wanted to point out here is that Jira automation indirectly, benefits your boss too. So in one way or the other, when you've actually assigned a task to someone and the person is giving this nonchalant attitude, um, you know, the automation already has sent a mail to your boss telling him or her that this person was supposed to work on a particular project, on a particular task, but he's not done and the deadline has passed, right? So now you are actually off the whole hook. Why didn't you follow up? Because everyone has actually received the notification, right? And your boss also can't come and question you. Who is directly involved here? Is the person that was assigned to a particular issue on Jira that gets to that answers to whatever query that is available. Hello, Omalicha. Good evening. So that is just it. Another thing is that, yeah, I mentioned here, no more excuses. If deadlines are missed, Jira can send automated reminders, ensuring everyone is on track. Another one is that your boss cares about results, right? Um, to just cut everything short, bosses do not really like unnecessary excuses. Just tell them what you've done, give them results, give them updates. That's why the Jira automation is there. Constantly sending them updates on what has been done on a particular project. Now, um, imagine that you're managing 4 projects. Would you have time to be moving from one project to the other just because you're working manually? Don't worry, we'll actually get to the Jira, and the Jira automation is really simple, but you need to have an idea on what Jira automation is really, really all about. So it's really not a big deal. It's just something that if you do once or twice, you really get to understand it very well. So, okay, so these are the few things I actually wrote down here types of Jira automation. So I'll just mention it. So there is actually an event, a rule-based Jira automation. Let me just start going through the Jira right now. Should I use this dark theme background or I should use white theme? Which one? Are you guys seeing? I should change it to white theme. Black is fine. Okay, no problem. Let's just get to it. All right. So how do we even start? You can configure your Jira to look however you want, so far as you understand what we are doing. So this is actually something that I have done with my projects in my previous project class, right? So you could see here, this is my epic, right? And it's not assigned to anybody, no start date, no end date. It's just an epic with a user story. I'm not sure we have subtags. No, no subtags. So we all understand how this background works. If you have any question as I'm going through, please just drop the question for me. I'll go through them one after the other. Okay, so let's start with this. When you want to start your Jira automation rule, just like I said earlier, it's really not a hard thing to do. You look at this sign here. If you're using an iPhone, when you're charging your phone, this is the sign that always pops up that your phone is charging. So you click there and it says create automation, manage automation, audit log. So your create automation is maybe you creating new automation like from scratch, and then manage automations, maybe you have some that you created earlier on, so you want to go and change some rules and some things. So it's quite easy, you just change it there. If you just go to your Jira, this thing is not hidden. Once you see this enter full screen share, you definitely see this automation. So it's quite easy, and it's quite easy for you to see it there. So then the audit log shows it's like an audit trail showing a history of what you've actually done on your Jira, on your automation feature. So okay, let's just start creating the automation. Okay, so I'm going to actually do, I'm going to, oh, someone is saying white theme. So I'm going to actually do a simple Jira automation. So we have so many triggers here. Um, issue triggers, these are for DevOps. Don't get yourself confused. This environment is actually a very simple environment. So don't really get yourself really confused by it. The thing is that if you've never practiced a thing before, once you see it, it looks somehow in your eyes. But if you keep on practicing it, you become better at it. So that is cool. Yeah, no problem. Let's use that then, because I've seen most people saying we should use that. So it's not just joining the call, try it. In my company currently, I use Jira Automation because it works out for us. We have like 3 projects that is ongoing at the moment, and I can't be going around checking Jira who has moved a task, who is not done with a particular task. So whoever is waiting for query for himself or for herself, I'll just create my automation. If this person is not done with this task on a particular date, send an email to my boss or send an email to the team lead, technical lead. And I mean, I'm off the hook. So that's just how it works. Okay, so let's move down. So we have, okay, so down here we have recommended. Okay, let's click on these 3 dots. Okay, we have design, security. So you can create your automation for so many things. We have issue. Now, I'll just briefly explain these ones, what it means. So this says that you can create an automation for your Jira when an issue is deleted, right? Let's come here. Don't forget what an issue is on Jira. So we have 4 types of issues, 3 types of issues, and they are under Epic. So we have Epic, we have bug, we have story, and we have task, and we have subtasks rather. So 4 types of issues under Epic. So once you hear anything issues on Jira, just know that we are talking about these 4 things here: bug, story, task, subtask, and actually you can also create your own kind of issues, whatever you want to name it. Maybe rework, something like that. However you want to name it, you can name them, right? So once an issue comment is deleted, right, I could give a rule that it should trigger, it should send a mail to my boss, or it should send a mail to me telling me, oh, a particular issue has been deleted. So I think that's how it works. Um, so we have so many of them here: issue assigned, um, issue created, and a whole lot of that. Okay, so let's look for one and do maybe an issue created, right? Okay, so I'm saying rule is run when an issue is created. That is the Jira, the automation rule. So I want it to run a rule, right? When you click on next, it will show you so many rules that you can create. So it says app then. We have a then automation. If you are used to Python, you mostly hear of if else and a whole lot of that. So let's just go. So we are saying, I want you to trigger an automation when an issue is created. This is the flow. So what you are seeing here, I hope you guys can see my is it cursor moving up and down. You guys can see my cursor moving up and down. So I'm trying, this is the flow, but this is where we are doing the work, right? So don't be mistaken in any way with what I'm doing. So we have if, okay, there's an if statement and then there's a then statement. Actions will execute when your rule runs successfully. Then the if, so this if is like a condition. If something is not working this way, then do this. Or if something is working this way, do this. If this thing is working this way, then do this. Then for each, this one is for the developers, maybe, or I want to add a subtask on a particular issue, or maybe task or story. So I can just come here and create. So we're working on when issue is created. So I'm saying when issue is created, listen, there is an action button. So I don't know, should I go back again and explain the thing? Can one manage more than 3 different projects at a time on a Jira? Yes, you can. This particular Jira has up to like 5 projects. That's up to like 5 projects. So you can manage as many projects as possible. So that's just it. Okay, so don't forget we started with when issue is created, there is an action that should take place, right? So Jira automation is like, please help me do this. Once, okay, let's see. Once this tailor is done sewing my clothes, please pay the tailor 10,000 naira. That's what Jira automation does for you. It's as simple as that. Once the aboki guy is done, repairing your shoe, you get, pay him 5,000 naira. Once I'm done braiding my hair, pay me 5,000 naira. So Jira automation comes with an action, right? It comes with an action on what it's supposed to do. If a developer deploys a code to the environment, like the development environment, that's what I wanted to say, please trigger the issue to move from in progress to in review, so that the QA guy can test. So let's try something out. Let's try something out. So I'm saying that when an issue is created, send a notification to where? To my email. They're asking for my email. So let me just put my email straight away. Fun is so okay. Let me use PM Pulse. PM Pulse take at gmail.com. I hope you guys are following. If you're not following, just let me know. I'll still explain this thing over and over again. Okay, so now when issue is created, I'm saying what is the subject? So the issue is being sent to my mail, is sent to this particular mail. Now, let it not be because I'm putting my own email and you think that automation should always go to my email. No, automation can go to your boss mail, it can go to your team members mail. Don't forget that the particular automation we are doing is if an issue is created, and what is this issue? Bug, story, task, subtask. If an issue is created, send a notification email to this person. It could be that this is the team lead. So you want the team lead to see all the issues that have been created, by who, or is it by whom? By whom, and when it was created. So I will now put issue created. Okay, let me just put new task update, new task update, new task update, and then content. Please review. So this content is like you. Don't forget that you need to name your. If I have up to 3 projects on Jira, can I set up an automation for all 3 and it doesn't clash? I'll answer that question. That's a very good question. So I'll just answer that. Let me just finish with the automation so that people do not lose track of what I'm talking about. Okay, so don't forget your naming matters a whole lot. Who are you sending this thing to? Maybe the person that really needs the notifications. So the new tax update, I'm naming it because I'm writing here that when an issue is created, um, send a mail, right, to this person. Send a mail to pmpulsetech at gmail.com with the subject new task. Okay, and then whatever content you want to put, no problem. So let me just put a content. So let me use Mfoni's so that I can be able to share one screen. Let me use Mfoni's so How do they spell? Mfoni's so at gmail.com. Okay, so that's my mail. So hello hello I'm coming. We have created, you can drop all the questions, I'll attend to them one after the other. We have created a new issue. Let's spell issue, and we want you to take a look at it. So take a look at it. A look at it. Okay. All right. So more options. If you have other options, okay, so you can put okay, I can put here, this thing is from, let me put from Joy. I'll say that this particular task is from Joy. Okay, I think that's all. So I will now click next. Okay, so I'm done. Let's come here, and we need to name our rule very well. You turn on the rule, name your rule. We are trying to clear this place because there's no name here. New issue, new task. Let me just put new task. New task. So I'm turning on the rule, and this particular rule is for pay. It's pay project. You can do global automation, right? You can do global automation, no problem. But you need to be sure, you need to be really good at doing a single automation for each project before you actually move up to doing global automation. Okay, so let's just go. So for this particular rule that I said, when an issue is created, send a mail to gmail.com informing the person that there's a new task the person should kindly review. So let's just go back. Let's go back. Let's create an issue then. So let me just create a task. Let me just create a task. I need a new dashboard. I need a new dashboard. Okay. So I've sent you guys are following me, right? I created a new issue right now and said I need a new dashboard. So now I have received a notification. I don't know if you guys can see. Okay, let me share this tab instead. So I received a new notification, right? You've seen it here. You guys understand what's happening now. So I cannot say, let's say, assuming I'm the team lead, right? So I'm like, I can just come on my email and just type new task update, and I'll see a list of all the tasks that has been created to each person that it has been created to and assigned to who with date and everything. It's quite easy that way for me to, take note of all those things. So you're managing so many projects. It helps you. All right, someone asked a question. Can one manage more than three different projects at a time on Jira? Yes. Let me show you something. Let me share this tab instead. So if you can see here, you can see by this side, we have split pay escrow app, we have therapy app, we have TheraK app, and we have MindFix app. So those are different applications that we've tried working on. So you could see we have up to like, and there are actually more. There are more of them. We have one, two, three, four, five, or more than that. So you can create issue at any. You can create your project as many times as possible. Okay, so um, if I have up to three projects on Jira, so it's saying if I have up to three projects on Jira, can I set up an automation for all three and it doesn't clash? Yes, because it's per project. You can set it up per project. It does not clash. So if your project is just starting newly, right, and you guys have gotten all the requirement that you need, you can just start setting up your project, and that is it. So you can just start setting up your automation. Assuming you are working for two different companies and you're making use of Jira, how do you set privacy between the project between those projects for confidentiality? Okay. Now if you're actually an admin of that the whole Jira account, right? Your company has trusted you enough to make you an admin of that particular Jira for that company. What you're going to do that for each project that you're working on, you do not invite your colleagues to the project. You have five colleagues working, right? So you create project B called bottle water. You do not need to invite all the five people into the project. Maybe it's just for designs, and then you have designers. So all you need to do is just invite only the designers to the project. So the remaining two guys who are actually developers will not see anything. Even if they click on the name of the project, it might not come up, or it will come up but they'll not be able to view anything. But if you give everybody access to view all the projects, that's where it's good. That's where the problem is going to be, right? So, for example, if a new project comes to our company, my boss would tell me who and who is working on that particular project, and then I will just be adding those people's email. Hope you know where to add email. I'll just be adding people's email. I'm sorry, let me just come here, right? So you could share whatever you're doing here. You get um your team members. So whoever you are bringing into the company, right? That's the person that will actually view what's on that particular Jira. I hope I've been able to answer your question. So if you have other questions you want to drop for me, no problem. I'm available to answer it because the class was just supposed to be a very brief one, and then we, go away. I didn't want to take much time. You can create as many rules as possible. This is the first rule. This is actually for updates. So if you want to create another rule, just go to your create automation. And what else should we do? Mm, So I actually do not have any integration for that matter. So let's say if we have the DevOps guy. So if you're actually working on, thank you, I've been confused for a while. Okay, you've been confused for a while on what exactly, Omalicha, so that I can clarify that for you. You've been confused on what for on what? Let me clarify that for you. Okay, so for those persons working in purely soft solution delivery company, right? Solution delivery companies. So you have your DevOps team working for you. You have your DevOps team working for you. You now create something, you create an automation. All this is actually the work of a project manager. So that's why I tell people that project management is not you learning agile, learning Jira, learning one or two things, and then maybe on Coursera and call yourself a project manager. No, there is an in-depth study that you need to do. You need to give yourself time to learn a whole lot. That's why my book, I actually wrote handbook for project managers. So it gives you a guideline on how to, work, like how to start, learn when it comes to project management, the principles, software development life cycle, everything that encompasses project management. That's for solution delivery companies. So I had to write that book because I noticed that some persons were actually missing out on the roadmap to becoming a solution project manager. So for DevOps, I want to create a rule, right? And I'm saying that when a branch is created for a particular job, so there's no branch will be created on this job. So I'm just explaining it, how it works when it comes to those DevOps part. So when a branch is created, right, I'm saying the then action should be um, issue action, right? Now, this is it. If a branch is created on, if a branch is actually created on Jira, right? There's a task, and then your developer creates a branch on that particular task on your Jira. I hope you guys understand how your developers can create a branch on Jira, right? So it should send a notification, it should issue an action. So we have so many issues. You should create a new issue. No, it's not supposed to do that. Delete attachment. Nope, nope, nope. It should log work, right? I could say it should log work. So it could transition an issue. Let's do this one. If a branch is created and then that task was in to do, and then a branch is created for that, if a branch is created for that particular task that was in to do, right? It would transcend the issue. Okay, transition the issue. Okay, so see the options that is coming out. It will copy, it will transition the issue um, from to do, right, to in progress. So it transition the issue to in progress, because a branch can actually not be created in a branch will not be created in progress. It actually be created in to do. It's just like when you want to, start working, start farming. You need to come with your equipment first before you even start weeding. So that's the same thing. I've been confused for a while as a new project manager trying to navigate. Okay, I'm coming. I'll answer that question. So I was talking about DevOps, how why it should be in progress, the destination status should be in progress. I cannot show you my previous work because there's a non-disclosure agreement. I signed up for that, so I cannot open that up. So what you're going to do is that once the developer has created a branch for a particular task, subtask, bug, it should move that task from to do to in progress. Now, there is no way your developer will move a particular issue from to do to in progress if he has not created a branch for it. And that is simple. That is a simple task. So now So you don't even need to be bothering yourself. Oh, I hope you have started working on this task. The developer also you get will be accountable for his own task because immediately he or she creates a branch for it, everybody will be notified that this particular person has the task has moved from to do to in progress because he created a branch for it. So you could actually there's a whole lot of it. So it says let's read what's here so that you understand. Add regress to distinguish between multiple transition. So you could actually add whatever you want to add here for your transition. This thing is quite simple. All you need to do is just read about it, right? So I could say I'm coming. So selected field. No, I don't want due date. I want assignee. Right. Okay. So that is it. That is it. So I could assign this particular task from to anybody, right? I could, so this, if you can see, we have someone here. If a branch is created, right? We should assign this particular task to any of these people. Stella, Shakila, Omalade, Mfonisemem, and Idong said. So I could assign it to any of them, but I don't need to because it will be sending unnecessary triggers down to them. All right, so that's it, right? So if you still want to add as many issues, as many rules as possible, you can add, right? You can add as many this thing. So we have a whole lot of a whole lot of it here. Issue field condition. So let's go to issue field condition. Um, so this will actually affect check whether an issue field meets a certain criteria. Good. This is it. So you must assign it to someone, or it must match the description, due date, right? So there are a whole lot of things here you can actually check out for yourself when it comes to Jira automation. So what I just want you to do is just go through it. First off, for you to understand Jira automation, because if you go down, if you move from DevOps, if you start with DevOps, you'll be so confused. I kid you not. So what I want you to do is that start with creating tasks. Something like, if a task is created and I assign it to, if a task is created, right, notify so person, right? For example, I hope you know that every user story on Jira carries the project manager. Like if you have a user story on Jira, the person that that particular user story will be assigned to is a project manager. I hope you are aware of that. So if you are assigning a particular issue to the project manager, which is, you can specify, don't forget we have four, we have tags, sub-tags, we have board, and we have stories. So if you assign a story to me, like I assign a story to myself, it triggers me, right? And it can remind me that I need to like I need to like maybe update something on Jira for a particular person. So you could start by that, assigning issues to yourself. That is how you understand how Jira automation works. So you could just start by assigning issue to yourself. You just understand what you're doing. So don't go and start with DevOps. You'll be so confused. So confused. So someone asks here, as a new project manager trying to navigate into IT, who are my target audience when trying to build my personal brand on social media? Omolicha, this is Jira automation class, but I will answer that question. As a new project manager trying to navigate into IT world, who are my target audience when trying to build my personal brand on social media? I mean, when it comes to building personal branding, it entails a whole lot of things. For example, you are transitioning to becoming an IT project manager. My question will be like, do you have any experience, like any coding experience? Like, do you know how to write code or read code and understand, or do you know how to deploy, DevOps part of it, at least you understand what it means when we are talking about software development lifecycle. Now, that's the first question I'll ask you. So if you actually know that, that's good. Your target audience um, there are actually two types of people. Are you into IT project management as a consultant, or you are actually trying to work for someone, that's for a company, or you're actually trying to do freelancing? So three questions I'm asking you: freelancing, consultancy, or how do I call it? Or you're trying to go into the corporate world, like working under someone. I don't know, is it employee, clinical thing? I really do not know how to put it. So those are the three questions you have to ask yourself. So if it's consultancy, you need to have a very good number, a very good years of experience, where you've actually been at the managerial level of the organization, managing projects for your boss, or maybe on his behalf or on her behalf, right? And it was successful. So you can boast yourself to say that aside you managing people, aside you managing people, risks, and every other thing, you can calculate cost for a project. And when I talk about cost, it's not about you bringing people into the company and saying that, oh, with maybe with 500,000, these guys can build a project in 3 months. That's not the cost I'm talking about. I'm talking about